it do, YouTube? It's your boy Cam Dudley back here on another video. Today, I want to talk about James Harden. Are the rules affecting James Harden game? Or is James Harden overrated as a scorer? Very interesting, huh? Now, Harden, you were able to average over 30 at one point. Two times. I think he averaged 30. Then he averaged over 30 in back-to-back seasons. But this was all before the rule changes were made by the NBA. They ain't you. I understand. It's just 3 games. You gotta adjust to it. But this is the problem. This is why James Harden is not one of my favorite players, bro. And I'm just keeping it 100. And when you niggas talking about he's a better scorer than Kobe, he up there with Kobe and better scorer than KD and all these dudes, bro. Y'all just looking at the numbers and not looking at his game. James Harden, the only thing he relies on is really the step back. And him going to the rim, drawing fouls. He don't have no post game, really. I think I only saw James Harden do a post like 3 or 4 times out of his whole career. I mean, he may have did it more, but I'm talking about the times I saw him. He may have did a post from here and there, but that ain't his game. He ain't got really no one dribble pull up mid-range. I never saw James Harden do that. All I saw is step back, step back. That's the only move he relies on, is the step back. Now, he get niggas with the step back. Hell yeah. Like, I done saw niggas stumble from the step back plenty of times. I saw niggas fall from the step back plenty of times. But if he ain't, like, right now, it's gonna take him some time to adjust, because the refs is not calling it. It's not giving him those fouls like they were. They were giving him hella fouls. He was shooting like 15, 16 free throws a game. Facts. Like, it was at one point in time where I saw James Harden shooting 20 free throws, bro. I swear to God. And he had like what? I think he had like 40 something. Almost. I think it was when he scored 60. Game when he scored 60. I think he had like what, almost 20 some free throws, bro. Like, that's, you gotta think, bro. If you got 20 points from the free throw line, that's damn near half of your points coming. Like, that's where half of your points are coming from, other than the other 30. That's not coming from. And that was probably because he had it going from the 3-point line. Most likely he did have it going from the 3-point line then. And he's not really, to me. Now he's a above average shooter. He's not really a great shooter, but he's above average shooter. He's a good shooter. We give him that. He can shoot the ball. And him being able to, shoot free throws, knock down free throws when he goes to the line. We can't discredit that. But at the same time, bro, this is why I don't put him over the Currys, the KDs, at scoring, the Kobe's, even Kyrie. I don't think he's a better scorer than his own teammate, than both of his teammates, Kyrie or KD. I just think those dudes, the way they can create their own shot through fadeaways, Kyrie is a master at that. KD is a master at that. And the way Kyrie can create off the dribble with his moves, and he's a better shooter than James Harden. Facts. go look at the numbers and just look at the game. It's like it's clear as day. James Harden is that's why James Harden is really not necessarily a third option, but is a third scoring option. See, he's the you can may well be you could say he's the first option as far as who gets the ball because he's the point guard, and and that's why I think him and Kyrie were able to say, compliment each other because it was like, okay, Kyrie, okay, you could be like Kyrie, he could do what Kyrie could do what Kyrie does, just like he did with LeBron, and say that I'm the scorer, and James Harden can be accept that, okay, this is what I do. I play make my playmaking is the best part of my game, really, because to me, playmaking is the best part of James Harden game. Is what makes him James Harden. But because him outside of him doing the step back, like that's playmaking is really James Harden game. If you want to get technical, like you want to get real with it. That's why he's he can be able to defer to KD and say, hey, well, you don't really have to defer to KD because KD is just KD can fit with anyone. You can plug him in any system. But James Harden, I'm talking about James Harden basketball mind. He's saying, oh well, look at KD. I know I'm scared, but I know I'm score better than this motherfucker. So, got Kyrie. This motherfucker, yeah, I don't score. Yeah, I can score, but I don't score like these motherfuckers score. Like, see Kyrie doing the post. Kyrie is a small guard doing the post phase, posting niggas that's taller than him up, like literally posting, like cooking them. Like Kyrie ever cook niggas, but on this snap. But this is why now when I just looked at James Harden one day and said, bro, he's really just a 2-level scorer. Not really a 3-level. Like 3-level scorers who can score like KD. 3-level scorer. Score mid-range, score 3-pointers, get to the basket. And I just looked at him and said, like, bro, James Harden only relies on 3-pointers and getting to the rim. Like, he doesn't really have a dribble pull-up mid-range game like those dudes have, like the Kobe's and the KD's. And I'm like, bro, that's maybe why his game doesn't really translate in the playoffs. It's easy to not easy, because James Harden still gets his, just off him being great. That's how he still gets his buckets. So I can't say it's really easy to guard him, because if he got the 3 going, then everybody, you got the 3 going, that's hard to guard. But I just leave this saying, bro, this is why James Harden, teams are shutting James Harden down in the playoffs. It's because they're relying on him to knock down jump shots. And we know when you force someone who can knock down jump shots, but not really consistently, you win. And that's why James Harden game hasn't really translated to the playoffs, because one, defense can key on you. That's why the Drew Holidays get on James Harden. Drew Holiday, probably the best person I ever seen play James Harden. I'm trying to see who else. Yeah, I think Drew Holiday, and I think Jeremiah Green, he defends James Harden well too. Bro, that's why his game, he hasn't been showing up like as we, expect him to show up and like putting all these good numbers up that he was in the regular season in the playoffs is because his offense is limited. And him being able to get to the rim, if he can't do that, then it's like, okay, it's like, what can you do? Like, that's why in the playoffs, even though he was on one leg, it kind of was like, bro, KD is by himself. It's because James Harden wasn't able to. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't move now, but he wasn't even able to knock down shots consistently. Like, if you look at his 3-point percentage compared to his regular season percentage, it's probably god awful. Like, I didn't saw games where James Harden just missed everything. Like, where he went 2 for 11 against the Golden State Warriors in the game 7. I'm like, bro, James Harden is not really a great shooter. He's a good shooter. He's an above average shooter. And I'm saying to myself, like, bro, James Harden is like, this is why James Harden is so predictable and teams can key in on his offense. It's because he don't got that mid-range dribble pull-up like Kyrie and KD do. These dudes, I'm talking about dudes that create, like Kobe and all these dudes, like, this is why. But people get so caught up in the numbers that he was putting up in the regular season, like Charles Barkley saying he's the greatest scorer he ever seen, greatest scorer than Michael Jordan, all these dudes. Like, no, bro, like, are you, like, do you dudes watch the game, or are you just getting caught up in him scoring? Like, I actually watched the game, analyzed the game, and that's what my take on James Harden, bro. Like, that's why he ain't got no rings, really. He had the talent. He had the talent. Now, one can say if CP3 was, healthy, whatever they would have won, okay, that's cool. But James Harden was there. He didn't do nothing. Like, he didn't get the job done. You know what I'm saying? I know it was against the powerful Golden State Warriors, but still, man, he didn't even play a good enough game for them to even win the game. Like, yeah, man. Harden, bro. This is why the Brooklyn Nets need Kyrie Irving, bro. Like, it's showing. Like, KD, he can't carry the offensive load like that, bro. He just can't. Like, he need historical games to carry this team. They already don't got, well, Patty Mills outside of James Harden who can create his own shot. Joe Harris, he ain't shit if he ain't making, shots. He just out there. And then their defense is horrible. God awful. Like, I don't know, man. Like, they're going to have to work some things out. And Harden should have, like, Ticket was talking about Ticket TV. Shout out to Ticket TV. He was saying James Harden should have took that extension. Because now he's forcing the Nets' hand. Do they really want to give you all that money? And then you're on a decline. Now, it's just 3 games, like I said. They still got time to adjust to the rules. You know what I'm saying? Get the chemistry with the Brooklyn Nets, like their little chemistry with the new pieces they have. So I'm going to give them some time. But, bro, as we know, bro, time flies. And when dudes is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his reputation in the playoffs ain't that good. And it's like, damn, James, like, this is why, to me, he wasn't in my, like, top. Like, he ain't the Stephs, he ain't the KDs, he ain't the Kyries, and to me, to y'all, Y'all just let me know if James Harden really like that or he ain't like that. Hey, comment below. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. I'm out.